Hello and welcome to today's session. It's gorgeous out here in Madrid. It's spring, the sun is shining, feels gorgeous. Today, on this gorgeous day, I hope you're all doing amazingly well, whichever part of the world you are watching. And today I'd like to talk about something I hear so many people say, and that is, Sonal, I don't have time. I don't have time to pause and learn. I don't have time to take courses. I don't have time to upskill. I don't have time to XYZ, fix a problem I have. It feels a lot more comfortable to continue to be busy doing things that are to a certain extent mindless, but that don't really give us an outcome. Instead of actually pausing and thinking, is what am I doing, what I am doing, actually yielding the results I want? So while today is a session that I have focused on my wellness leader clients, so spa directors and managers of hotels, I think this is equally useful for you, the other part of my clients, so you are owners of boutique hotels. This will also resonate with you. So even though the problems that you face are very different from any department head of yours, the core underlying principles that I'll be sharing today are things that will also apply to you. So I encourage you to also sit in and listen to what I have to say, because I do believe there is a lot of value out of these simple things that we need to be reminded every now and then. So, going back to our wellness leaders, I get it. I know how day to day operations can be. I'm in them, and I sometimes actually do get sucked into, I don't have time. So you're stretched thin, you have staff problems that you need to deal with, you have your finance team breathing down your neck, guests are complaining because things aren't turning out the way you want or the way they want. And you're working very long hours, you're at 100% occupancy. So it's never ending. And the last thing you need to hear is, you know what? You need to pause and learn something. Try to evaluate what's happening. That is the last thing you feel like doing when you're just in operational chaos. I get that. But here's the thing. What if I told you that the moment you say, I don't have time, that is the exact moment you need to make time? Because I don't have time isn't an excuse. It's actually a red flag. And today, what I want to do is show you why that one thought, I don't have time, may be costing you more than anything else in your wellness operation. So let's look at why you get yourself in the situation that doesn't serve you. This, I don't have time to solve the real problem. The first reason is that, ironically, when you are so busy, you're so maxed out, everything is turning out to be not the way you'd like, you're actually solving the wrong problem. So when things get messy in our day to day operations, our instinct is to start fixing. So train the team again, adjust the guest journey, add a new treatment, respond to every guest complaint personally. But when you're doing all that, the question is, what are you not doing? You're not actually looking at the business model. You're not asking, is this concept fundamentally designed to work in this hotel with this team in this market? So instead of solving the right problem, you pour your energy into surface level fixes. And even if those fixes work for a moment, they don't change the long term outcome. You can ask your therapist to stay on longer. You can remove the treatment turnaround time. You can get extras in and offer that famous personalized massage as a way to not have to train them. And you can get in more clients, serve more people, get more revenue. But that is not a solution in the long term. And that is certainly not something that you can repeat in future high seasons. Because if the foundation of what you are doing is of no amount of effort on the surface will make it sustainable. So you can't fix a business problem with operational band-aids. But you won't realize if you're too busy to pause and look deeper. Hence why I don't need time doesn't serve you. The second reason is you're not prepared for what I call the valley of despair. Now, in previous episodes, I have talked a lot about the emotional cycle of change, where you start and Mount Stupid. These are not my words. There's the famous emotional cycle of change that we all go through when we are implementing a new concept, when we are embarking on something new. So we start up here when we're unrealistically, this is uninformed optimism. We're up in Mount Stupid. And then once we start implementing our romantic notion, our ideas, we start going down the valley of despair and into the river of misery, because this is disconnect between what you thought your concept would look like, what you thought this new venture would look like, and the reality of it. And that is a disconnect we all face, irrespective of how seasoned you are. The thing is not to avoid that valley of despair. The thing is you have to become skilled in navigating your way down the slope, that valley of despair into a river of misery. So every concept starts off exciting. Every new job you starts off exciting. Every new leader that comes in feels pumped, feels excited that they're going to change everything, do things better than the person behind them. The branding is fresh. The launch, whatever you're going to launch, feels very promising. You have everyone's support. But then I promise you that slope does come. The moment does come when you start going down that valley of despair. And that's the phase when things stop actually going to plan. Guests aren't responding the way you expected. The team isn't consistent. And your leadership starts questioning numbers. They start questioning your leadership. And this is where most spa directors, me included, I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt several times. We feel completely out of our depth. Because instead of pausing to evaluate what's actually working or not, we go into overdrive. Our instinct is to fix what isn't working. Our instinct is to show the world that what we proposed is going to work. And it sure will. But if we don't create the space to evaluate what's actually working and what isn't, and instead we go into burnout mode, there's no way we're going to figure it out. So what we end up doing is we try to fix everything and anything we can get our hands on. And in the process, we end up burning ourselves out. And the worst part, we still don't know what's actually broken. So this is what I see wellness leaders do. They end up in a cycle of reacting, not leading. And because they don't have the mental space to think strategically, they give up too soon. They throw away the baby away with the bathwater. They throw away the entire concept, or they walk and go to another job. But what they really needed was a process, that moment of pause, a framework, a system to assess, realign, and move forward. Because the valley of despair is normal, but only if you know how to skillfully ride down it. So if you don't have time to learn how to lead through this dip, the concept won't be the only thing that fails. You will too. And the third reason you fall into this, you go down this rabbit hole of I don't have time. If you don't have an hour, you need at least 30 minutes every day. And when I speak to wellness directors, they often tell me, I don't even have an hour a week to focus on strategy. So what they end up doing is nothing. They continue doing what they've always done, and they postpone their development until things calm down. They pause strategy until things calm down, until the busy season passes. But here's the truth. Waiting or procrastinating or pushing things doesn't ever calm things down. It just makes the gap between where you are today and where you want to be in the future even wider. And inside the Wellness Asset Academy, I teach something what I call the one thing hack. And it's built specifically for spa directors who feel they don't have time. So we focus on making one decision, one shift, one improvement per week. And that is just 30 minutes. So it's not even 5 hours of modules, not another checklist, just a single strategic step that creates clarity and progress. Because here's the reality. You don't need more time. You just need to know what to do with the time you've got. So my wellness leader friends, every time you find that you get yourself in this whirlwind where you're sucked into this cyclone, this chaos, this storm of busyness, putting out fires, just drowning in all these things you need to do, only to see that you don't have any results. It's actually the moment. It's actually a sign that you have to pause. You have to create that mental space in order to think strategically. And that is your job as a wellness leader. That is not your GM's job, not your director of finance, not your director of people and culture. That is your job. That is why they have hired you. And you are the one who needs to be able to handle these situations instead of further perpetuating this, putting out fires every single day. So if you think you don't have time to take a course, you don't have time to upskill yourself, you don't have time to actually put a strategy in place, then is when you know you really do need the time. Because if you don't, one thing is for sure, you will continue in this vicious cycle. And today it's this job, and tomorrow it'll be another one. And the only way you stop this happening over and over and over is by actually taking the time, pausing, putting strategy in actual place, and then moving forward. So on that note, my wellness leader friends, I hope you all have a wonderful day ahead. Take care now.